Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Well, let us see what's going to happen with the market today. It seems that the next 2 weeks are going to be very exciting because as just tweeted yesterday, related to equities, it doesn't look well at all. I mean, retailers purchased a lot of equities, so a total volume of 14 billion within 1 week. If I'm right, it was 1 week. That's a new record. At the same time, entities, big entities, are going to unload 100 billions in equities until end of the year. So it doesn't look great at all. I still can imagine to push up hard before we nuke related to equities, SPY, SPX, a lot of different stocks. I mean, they're right now in the next 2 weeks, a lot of end of the year reports are going to come out from big companies. So it doesn't look great at the moment at all. And Bitcoin, holds its behavior and it's still following SPY, SPX, and that could be a big problem. However, Bitcoin doesn't look great at all. Anyway, so we will see. I mean, as mentioned, even if we would crash, just that's really a worst case scenario. Even if we would crash, we need to see that as an opportunity, as the last opportunity we will have in life. Because even people, and I was reading today that the chair of the banking committee in the Senate in the US was making or mentioning that ECC should consider to ban cryptocurrency. It's not going to happen. I can tell you, I'm absolutely convinced they can mention that every day, every hour, every 30 seconds. I wouldn't care. It's not going to happen. And I can tell you why. Because big institutionals are investing in infrastructure. They wouldn't do that if they see a bigger risk. And you can imagine that, of course, people like those members of the Senate or the chair of the banking committee, they are very well networked. And they have contacts to Goldman, to JP, and so on and so forth. Of course, BlackRock as well. But all those are very deep involved in crypto. The last one, BlackRock. Indirectly or directly. But so, even if we would crash, that would be the catalyst just to separate the valuable projects from trash. And the same with toxic market actors. Not going to talk about CZ, Binance, or Kraken, or whatever, but all of them, it doesn't matter how long they are just part of the crypto space, all of them have a bad side. They use bots to generate volume via wash trading. Not going to tell you who that was. But, so, and now they are saying they want just to support cryptocurrency. We need to work together. Of course, it's their cash cow. If cryptocurrency is going to crash to zero, those guys will leave the market, will lose a lot of money. Even they will keep being billionaires, but or at least multimillionaires, but it doesn't matter. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. I really don't know. I know that they are making a lot of pressure because of the CBDCs, and I can imagine that they want to focus the whole demand in CBDCs and try, to reduce the demand for cryptocurrency as max as possible. They can do that. And maybe Bitcoin will go down very hard with all other tokens. I'm not going to sell. I'm absolutely... Now it's time to declare yourself if you are a believer or not. If you believe in this industry or not. I believe deeply in this industry. I'm bullish all the time. I don't like what happened to the space and the last, since they started, to be honest. I don't like many actors involved in this space. And yes, many people will say, but Inspo, those who are going to join are not much better. Yeah, you are right. They are not much better. I mean, I know them very well. But at least these guys know the rules how to play. And that's something sometimes I'm really missing in the cryptocurrency space, not only related to Sam. And so I really hope that what happened with FTX and with other entities and companies related to the space will not happen anymore. And that would be possible if if all these guys leave the market. And that's, in my opinion, the only way is such kind of market crash. But I can tell you, I'm so far away from fear. So if we would crash, I would buy more. I really would buy more. And so I'm absolutely convinced that's going to happen. I mean, the last announcement by PayPal that they are going to use, they are just going to use MetaMask to connect to PayPal accounts. That's huge, and that also demonstrates you the potential of this market. It's not going to disappear, even with a crash. It doesn't matter. Absolutely not. So just to have that in mind. And not saying that we are going to crash, but it is possible. That's something we should have in mind all the time. It is possible. So where is my lovely epic pen? So let us start with the, it is an Inspo initial comment, but I'm not going to separate that. I'm going to show you the wealth ratio now in a few minutes, and then let us go forward. Well, as mentioned, we bounced here, and we bounced here. So usually we should go up more, indicating that whales are sending more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges. Also here we can see it bounced here, it bounced here, it bounced here, and it bounced here at 57 currently. So since yesterday, that's big. I was wondering, because even yesterday we received nice amount of Bitcoins. Very unusual for a Sunday. So everything looks like a preparation. And before we go down, we do what? Exactly. We go up, we go up, we go up, and then down. And that's something we should see once again, I guess. 17K. My favorite would be 17.3, 74. And only if we do that, I'm going to trade again. Shorting. Only shorting. That's the only thing. So let us go forward. If we check, for example, here, we can see, if we zoom out a little bit, that the wealth ratio is rising. We can also see that here, for example, So we are leaving 60 and we are going now above of 70. That's bearish, indicating they are sending, and correlates very well to my observations. They are sending more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges. The wealth ratio 30 hours moving average went up, down, up, and right now still above of 80, but we are not touching 90. Everything above of 90, run. Not happening at the moment, but still looking like preparation here. If we check what happened to stablecoins, reserves on centralized exchanges, nothing, unchanged. So yeah, we are still in a downward trend. Right now it looks like it wants to go up a little bit. Nothing huge, but that's it. Stablecoin supply reducing a little bit since our, whatever it was here, to be honest, 5 days ago. But that's it. So nothing here. Let us go forward. So we are here, and we can see even this weekend was really, I mean, let me disable stablecoins and we can see that we had here bigger inflow over 1000 bitcoins. Today it was really great. And even if we check, for example, that's today, yesterday, so Sunday, Saturday. Look, Saturday. Unusual. Really unusual to see that. Usually it's flat like that here. And however, the volume was relatively low, so average for Saturday, and everything is indicating they're preparing the next big price move to the downside, in my opinion. And the problem we still have, it seems that we still have people taking out their bitcoins and assets from centralized exchanges. So in my opinion, the balance, centralized exchanges balance, are not really useful at the moment. At least I wouldn't say that's 100% accurate at the moment. If we check, for example, related to stablecoins, nothing. After the big thing here, nothing. Really just nothing. I mean, here 50 millions inflow and 56 millions outflow. So absolutely nothing. We had here, for example, 1000 bitcoins outflow. So if we check, we received here 2600 bitcoins within 2 hours, and afterwards 1000 bitcoins outflow. So still indicating they are not selling everything they are sending, so they are accumulating. And the last 3 hours we received almost 1400 bitcoins, so nothing big at all, while 176 bitcoins outflow. Yeah, let us go forward. So future market, what's happening here? Let us just zoom out a little bit, and we can see that they started to demand here a lot of shorts. That was close before we started to dump. Afterwards, we can see the funding rate lifted up, and then it followed the price. However, since then it bounced almost here, and since then we are going up, indicating they are demanding more longs at the moment, while open interest and leverage ratio not doing anything. Open interest on that low level, absolutely low level. We had the same level here, so as you see, we are even lower than here. Open interest declined a lot, and it's not recovering. The only thing that's recovering is leverage ratio. Leverage ratio is here. It's almost, I would say December, end of November level, still away from its October level and September level, but recovering quicker than open interest, indicating a little bit that they are using more leverage than volume. If we check Bitcoin inflows to derivative exchanges, nothing. Really, the maximum 1,500 Bitcoins. Even outflows, nothing. Really, nothing. So if we start to check out here, for example, stablecoins, nothing. 55 million here, 65, 64. Even the biggest here was this morning, a bigger outflow of 80 millions. That's it. Absolutely nothing happening here. If we check yesterday, for example, oh, I need to refresh. So now it looks great. Yesterday, we liquidated a little bit more shorts than longs. 150 Bitcoins in shorts we have liquidated yesterday, and just 60 in longs. Then that was Sunday. Saturday, the same, a little bit more shorts. So 200 shorts liquidated versus only 50 longs. And Friday was the big long liquidation, 2,100 Bitcoins and longs and 280 Bitcoins and shorts. So if we check that here, we can see that open interest, as mentioned, it's declining more. Leverage ratio also declining more, and funding rate also declining more, as we can see here. So indicating they are demanding more shorts. That's the aggregated, means Binance, Gimini, Bitget, OKEx, all of them who provides perp and futures are represented here. And I wouldn't say Binance is the biggest one, but we will check if even on Binance the funding rate is declining. It doesn't look like. So let me refresh just in case of. So if we check, yeah, that's what I mean. It's not Binance. I don't know who is demanding more shorts at the moment, but on Binance we have a funding rate of 0.01. It's usually a little bit more up, but it's neutral. It's neutral. I mean, if we check here with the line, we can see it. Well, what was that? Oh yeah, it looks like a little bit more up, so indicating they're demanding more longs than shorts, with deviations as we see here, but in general you can see that the trend is up. Yeah, leverage ratio up, down, maintains. Open interest on Binance down, maintains, more down. You know, open interest is declining a lot. And I mean, you can offer a zero fee for spot and some margins, but if the open interest are declining more and more and more, that's going to be a big problem and bring some trouble to centralized exchanges. So if we check blockchain whispers, we will see that indeed they are demanding more longs at the moment. So we have 66 to 34. That's huge. 65.35 on Ethereum, also huge. And you can see what Bitfinex is doing. If we had almost 120 millions last week, now we have almost 50% of them. So 64 millions, indicating even on Bitfinex they're reducing the shorts while longs maintaining very high, but that's something we know. However, I would be extremely careful. So let us check here. Do I have 18 credits? For what? I have 18 credits. Okay, great. Didn't know that. Wow, that was quick. Well, if we check, that looks bullish. That looks bullish, indicating they should start to try to liquidate everything here. I was expecting maybe until here. Let us see. I'm really not good. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm very wrong. 17,250, a little bit more high, 17,3. Wow, that would be my preferred scenario. So to go up to liquidate everything here. Maybe a little bit more up to 17.5. As I tweeted today, 17.4 would be my max, so maybe even liquidate them here. And then we should start to see here some futures, some liquidation clusters, and then go down, and then much more down in my opinion. So that matches very well to what I have in mind. Oh, God. Yeah, so we have here, in my opinion, something that should attract centralized exchanges. Afterwards, it seems that should attract them more than this part here, because we need to push up very hard, hitting 25k. I don't think that could attract them. We have more volume here than here. 35 million, so a little bit more than last Friday, but also here nothing big. However, short-term bullish, but afterwards bearish. So yeah, 17k, make a visit at 17k to 17.4. I think it would match very well also to the liquidation map of the Kingfisher. We are done here. Let us go forward. So Binance spot CBD down, aggregated spot CBD down, Bitcoin collateral futures down, stablecoin collateral futures down. That's what's happening at the moment. So market trader shorting, market trader selling. And we will see if Binance is the main driver. So let us check what is happening related to Binance. Once again, almost 15,000 Bitcoins less, so negative CBD since December 15th, 4 days ago. That's big. If we check the aggregated one, from 3, even 24,000 Bitcoins. But also indicating that almost 50% of the aggregated one was generated on Binance, so it's the main driver here. Even here on Bitcoin collateral futures and stablecoin collateral futures almost flat, so nothing big happening there. Bitfinex also market distributing. If we check what they are doing, yeah, since here just selling, correlates with the aggregated one. Kraken, I guess, doing exactly the same. Yeah, almost. Not perfect, the correlation, but almost doing the same. Almost. As you can see, that's the difference. So almost. If we check now Bitget, wow, Bitget also selling, also since December 14th. And wow, it looks correlates very well to the aggregated one. Coinbase. Well, Coinbase, yeah, doing exactly the same. So at the moment also selling more related to market traders. Bitstamp, have started right now to sell, so nothing big. Gimini not selling at all, not really, and that's it. wondering what Bitstamp is doing, to be honest, because yeah, I don't know if that makes sense what they are doing, but however. So if we go forward, we can see what the entities are doing. Retailers, of course, pushing more up. These guys here declining, but they pushed more up. These guys here, of course, pushing more up. These guys here pushing more up. Very interesting what they are doing, because usually they buy the dip to sell afterwards. It's starting to look like a little bit like accumulation at the moment. Not that bad, to be honest. Absolutely not that bad. Oh, also a problem. Well, it's not a problem, but some of the market maker entities who are selling and reducing less than 1,000 bitcoins are right now shifting to these entities, and of course that makes that the balances go up. But I have checked, they are really, I wouldn't say accumulating, but at least they are, you know, raising their balances, while the market maker entity doing exactly the opposite. That's what they are doing. At the moment, they have 4,590,000. That's really crazy. And these guys here reducing a lot are entities, 80 to 90% of them linked to centralized exchanges, and indicating here they are reducing their balances as well. We will check. But if we check the fund flows related to the market maker, that's a red flag. That's really a red flag. I will show you, because that looks like a preparation as mentioned. So all these here, it's a big red flag, because usually that doesn't happen. And that's pure accumulation. We are talking about almost 1,000 bitcoins each. And look, that was today, that was Sunday, that was Saturday, that was Friday, and the whole thing started Wednesday. We know what happened Wednesday. So we pushed up, they started to distribute, but even here, they are just pushing more bitcoins to centralized exchanges and the OTCs, it seems, and that's really a red flag. Everything else, well, here Bitcoin reserves lifting up a little bit, but nothing big. Market activity declining more and more. Miners not doing anything. OTCs lifting up once again in activity, and what happens afterwards? We start to go down. So it's a clear also red flag that OTCs are not bullish at all. While centralized exchanges lifted up the price, OTC starts to sell, and that's it. If we check here, we can see we received bigger inflows as well, but the outflows are declining finally, because we had really big ones. That was when the whole bank run on Binance started, then this year as well, and since then it's reducing, while at the same time bigger inflows, bigger inflows, bigger inflows, bigger inflows. Also not indicating great that's going to be a Christmas bull run or rally or whatever. But if we check the balance exchanges, due the fact that we have seen another bank run on Binance, you can see it declined a lot, really a lot. So yeah, that correlates very well to all entities related to retailers. Okay, let us go forward. So let us check what's happening related to centralized exchanges. We start as usual with Coinbase. Coinbase here reinforcing 14,600 and even lower ranges 12,700. Wow, they introduce more liquidity, it seems, so they are expecting a move to the downside as well. But first we need 15.6. 15.6 would be here. We need to absorb all of them, and as you see, why I'm expecting to have a breakout this time is because they removed the liquidity at 15.6. And so now almost everything is open to go to 15,000, and then we need to see if it's going hitting 14.6 and 14. I'm not a big fan to think that we are going to go to 10 or 8 or 7. I think 13 should be the max, but I'm not good to forecast bottoms or really tops, to be honest. So we need to check. And short term I can, but forecasting it 1 week, 2 weeks in advance, it's not possible in my opinion. So if we check Deribit perpetual, they are waiting at 15.5 once again too long. Nothing to the upside, only here for example 17.6, but that's it. Bitstamp spot. Bitstamp spot waiting here at 16k. Otherwise they started to put some liquidity at 15.4, otherwise waiting at 15. And you see the whole sandwich between 14 and 13. So in my opinion, that matches very well to my expectations. I don't know why, but I think 14k should be our bottom. Well, we will check. Binance spot. Binance spot, they are still limiting the way up at 18.5. Right now also here at 17.3 waiting. Right now, nothing big, waiting at 16.5 as well. Otherwise at 16k, 15.5, nothing big anymore. The next one would be at 15k directly. The biggest liquidity is here between 14.5 and 14,000. Bitfinex spot. Bitfinex spot waiting at 15.7, and that's it. That's at least the biggest wall there. OKEX spot, nothing. Kraken spot, Kraken limiting the way up at 18, limiting the way up at 17, and waiting at 16 or 15.6. 15.6 matches very well because we have our support area there, and they limited 15.6 many times as well. So yeah. Bybit, nothing. Bitmax, limiting the way up at 16.8 and at 17. To the downside, nothing. Binance futures, we have a little bit more longs waiting, and 16 at 16,100 waiting here as well, but that's it. We need to see. A lot of shorts waiting here, much more than longs. Oh, okay, cool. So Bitfinex derivatives, nothing at all. Nope. Kraken futures, nope. OKEX futures limiting the way up at 17.1, so waiting to short at 17.1. And yes, that would match very well in my opinion. And OKEX swap still waiting there with 1,600 bitcoins to buy at 16.4, and it seems to sell at 20k, and that's it. That's absolutely it. So let us talk about my personal conclusions.